Oh, hey guys. Oh, hey.
Thank God. It's another Ali Day.
Super Gold Sunday edition.
So anyway, y'all, we hope y'all had a great week. If you did not get to see our week, you can recap on the link right here. You know, check this little playlist out. Catch up on All Day with the Ali's.
Oh,
But
take it with
anyway,
me. What's our song?
We can't. We can't.
Guys, it's coming. It's coming. Spicy.
Oh man.
We are so lit today. We just need to calm
lit.
down. I should
know.
put on my lit choker. Guys, listen. You guys are so fabulous. I got a message from someone with choker, an ad for a choker. I was like, "Oh, is that my signature?"
For real?
Yeah. She was like, "You would love this choker." I was like, "I so love it."
Wow.
That'd have been even more lit if she'd have bought it and sent it to me.
No, seriously.
I like free gifts.
I think we need to get a P.O. box because I just feel in my heart that some of you want to send us gifts.
Someone, Free Lion asked for our address. So where you at, Fee? I was like, okay, come through.
All right. But, you know, it's like, but I can't send it to y'all because I don't know where to send it.
I know.
So
and I can't give you our address because we got kids. We have to be safe.
We have to be safe. But we're going to put that P.O. box out there soon, you know? We got to look into that.
As soon as we get some extra moolah.
As soon as we get some extra moolah, Lord Jesus, because it is not in the budget.
It is not in our... This school is raking our pockets. But anyway, back to the point.
Today is a good one. Today is...
Oftentimes, we get what we think we deserve.
What we think we deserve.
We end up with people who are a reflection of our inner selves.
Yes.
The inner good, the inner bad. The
Yes.
things, the silent thoughts that we have
Yes.
about ourselves. Lack of confidence or too much confidence.
Right.
This video right here, we're going to talk about... What are we going to talk about? Are we going to share a story or are we going to just talk?
Well, I mean, we always share a story, so I think we should share.
Do they like our stories? Do you guys like our stories?
I don't know.
Like the video if you like our stories.
Right.
No one knows if you liked our video or not unless you have a playlist created for your like videos. So feel free to go ahead and like.
Yes, please.
Give it a thumbs up. We were having a conversation with a woman, and her
dude
boyfriend called,
and I mean, just disrespectful. I'm just gonna sum it up as disrespectful, but you can go into it.
He called and he was talking to her in a way that I was like, no judgment, but was that judgment? I don't think it was judgment. I like to think I don't judge.
It wasn't judgment, but it was, if you were putting yourself in her shoes, your mindset would be,
don't talk to me.
I wouldn't take that.
No, it wouldn't be a mindset. It would be a verbal.
Yeah,
don't talk to me like that.
Don't talk to me like that.
Like it would.
It would be a hang up, and we don't have to do.
No, I would give you an opportunity to say. I would say like.
To correct yourself. Do you forget who I was?
Like
maybe?
something,
right?
But, and she was just like, he's so silly, and I'm like,
right. But she said that. But you could tell that she was hurt. And so that kind of spiraled into the conversation that we're having today, that many times, I think actually all times, the person who you are with, you think that you deserve, rather comes to their bad and their good. That little part in her, that little girl in her, believed that she deserved for this man to speak to her the way that he did.
But what stimulated this conversation is because when we were talking about it, I said to her, not even you deserve to be spoken to that way. Not even you. Because, she's got a little mouth on her.
Right.
And I said, but not even you deserve to be spoken to like that.
Right.
If she wouldn't have minded, then it would have been one thing. But she clearly was affected by the way that the man, like, what did he say? I don't even remember what he said, but it was just his tone, his demeanor. They were on video chat, so, like, we could, like, see him, and he didn't even care. And I'm just like, no.
Yeah, it was his nonchalant way of saying what he said. Like, he didn't care about how he said it.
Or how she felt.
Yeah.
And from my perspective, I was just like, when Sharif and I did the playback, I said, listen, I know doggone well, like, it's just not me. Everyone has standards, though. And there's certain things, like, I'm not going to be with somebody who talks to me in a way that makes me feel uncomfortable, unpleasant. Your person's schema, how they think of you, it comes out in a way that the Bible even says what comes out your heart comes out your mouth.
Correct.
What's in your heart comes out your mouth.
Correct.
That's how you think about me. That's how you feel about me. And so it got us to talking about some of the glitches in our relationship and
Right.
some of the pros in our relationship. And I looked at my husband and I said, well, obviously my self-esteem isn't as low as I thought it was because I ended up with you.
Right.
Okay, and I have standards.
Right.
And you obviously meet my standards.
And that's the same way that I feel about you.
Yes.
You know, I say this all the time, and this isn't the only thing that I believe she adds to me in such a great way, but it's one of the most obvious, right? Felicia is a larger than life personality. Obviously, I think that I deserve to be with a woman like that, who is a star and who shines like one. But there's a deeper attribute that she shows, which you'd really have to be around Felicia. If you were around her for a day or two, after you get past the joking, after you get past the entertainment, after you get past all of that,
That's how you see me.
after you get past that, you see her heart. And for those of you who did not see this previous week's vlog,
I think it was Monday.
yeah,
Last Monday.
you'll see that Felicia, her heart, like the way that, and I'm not going to give it all right here because I really want you guys to watch this. The way that she even treats people who she does not know. I'll just say this, at a rental company. The way that she treated those people is exactly what made me fall in love with her and what made me know that this is what I deserve. I deserve a person who has a great heart, who gives immensely, and doesn't expect anything in return. And to even get deeper into that, like to be a psychologist right now, the reason why I felt I deserved that was because, truthfully, my mother gave that to me. You know what I mean? My mother is someone who she gave and gave and gave and gave and gave and gave until
Gives
she
and
depletes,
gives
and she
and
gives,
gives
yeah,
and gives.
to the point that she depletes herself.
Absolutely.
And she doesn't leave anything for her. So now the flip side to that though is because I believe I deserve that, right? I took Felicia for granted in many occasions. At times. I'd say in many occasions. Because
I have to say at times in order to love you.
okay, all right. But it's because, in my head, little Sharif is like, yeah, well, I expect you to do that because that was done for me like all my life. So I chose who I knew was going to give me exactly what I was used to, right? So what I had to do, the grow up point, and this is what I think that men especially, if you have like that mama's boy background or your mother was someone who just gave and gave to you, what you need to practice is the same thing I needed to, gratefulness. And that's an attribute that my wife also had that I knew that I did not possess because I was more entitled. And so I snatched that from her, right? And I adopted what her gratefulness is like. Felicia can go into a memory that happened 7 years ago and start to cry as if it just happened. And I used to be like, oh my God, she's a crier. But no, really, aside from, it's not because she's passionate, it's not because she's a crier, it's not
But I
because
am
of those
all of
reasons.
those things.
It's because, though, she's grateful. And the most successful people, in my opinion, not just financially, but even in your family or whatever other area that you're successful in, it's because you've practiced gratefulness. Gratefulness is a definite ingredient for success.
I agree.
And that's how our marriage is successful and succeeding, is because
Grateful,
we're grateful.
Grateful, 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 gratefulness is flowing from my heart.
That's what we feel. Gratefulness. And so what helped me to transition from being entitled to this is what I expect you to do, is that gratefulness. And then it's now I appreciate those things that she does, but I still feel simultaneously I chose right though.
Yeah.
This is what
sure.
I deserve. I deserve for you to wake up and cook me breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I deserve for you to remember every holiday and treat it like it's the best holiday in the world. I expect you to give me gifts, even the gifts that you'll see the next day I may have it on the floor. It's because this is what I'm used to. This is what I deserve.
This is what he feels he
You know,
deserves.
but now as a grown man, I appreciate it. I take a minute to be grateful for it, and I show her by appreciating those items or those acts of service that she gives to me, her husband, this beautiful wife, the mother of my children. So that's what I have to say on that, baby.
Oh yeah.
Our children are here.
I want to watch Thundercats.
You want to watch Thundercats? Ali?
Well, for me, I knew what I deserved because I knew what I didn't want. I had a lot of time to think about what is this face for? They rub her red because her nose is different. I had a lot of time to think about what it is that I didn't want. My father is one of my good friends. You know, he's not, you know, totally absent. And we have overall, I would say that my father and I have a pretty decent relationship. But I knew that I didn't want my father in a man. I knew what I deserved. I knew that I wrote a letter to myself a few years ago. And I've tried to post it on some social media form so you guys can see. I think I'll probably put it on my Instagram. But I posted it, and it was like a letter to myself. And it said, like, Dear Felicia, what you do want is... Maybe I should get it for you guys. It says... Excuse me.
Oh, okay.
It says, and I wrote this in 2006. It says, I want a man who caters to me, my ego, my emotions, my shopping, and my compulsions. One who never makes me compromise myself for him, but agrees to disagree and continue loving me. A man who's responsible and reliable, who is not driven by pride but love. A gentleman, unselfish, courteous, and respectful, who works for a living and believes in doing so for provision. He respects my opinions as though they were his own and prays with me. A man not afraid to acknowledge his wrongdoings. A man not easily angered, who lusts after me, who listens and responds. One who communicates and loves to be educated. A man fond of a woman. A man that understands no doesn't mean I'm rejecting him, just the request. One not inferior to my capabilities or personality. A man I can laugh at and with, who will not feel offended. A man who for only I will do. One that shares in the household chores and realizes parenthood is for two, not one. A man who kisses his daughter's boo-boos and speaks with his son, rather talk at him. A man that knows when he's gone too far, who trusts my intuition and appreciates my loyalty. One who will defend my honor, even if it's to his family and friends. A man who doesn't seek to punish or test me. He never puts me on the spot because embarrassment is not his goal. He has no incentive to love me. He just does. I swear to God, I haven't read this in like 3 years. I swear to God, I've not read this since we had kids. I swear to God, I just described you. Oh my God.
I appreciate that, babe. Thank you.
I swear to God I did.
I'm your list.
You are my oh my God. If the proof is here, I swear, guys, it's in 2006 I wrote this. Look. It's in the corner. But the point is, I guess that's what I felt I deserved.
Right.
You know, and I wrote this little note to myself, and at the time, I was in a lengthy relationship with someone else, and I read this to myself all the time. And I read it when I got in my next relationship, and I read it in my relationship with him, obviously not recently, but I just had to remind myself of what it is that I felt I deserved as a person, as a human, as a person coming from my background. I knew what I wanted to create for my future,
right,
for my grandkids and my great-grandkids and my children. And obviously, that's you. So, like, when people say to me, your husband is so kind, I'm like, I know. Like, oh my God, your husband is such a good man. I'm like, I know. Like, oh my God, he is such a man of integrity. I'm like, I know.
Right.
Oh my God, your husband is such an awesome man of God, honey. I know.
Right.
And it could come off as a little arrogant.
Right, but
it's not intended to be. It's like I knew what I wanted and I went after it.
Right.
And so when I have women around me and they're not getting the love that they want or the love that they think they deserve, I'm like, honey, you don't really think you deserve that, because you really don't deserve to have someone talk to you disrespectfully, and you really don't need to be in a situation where you're being constantly cheated on and, you know, taken for granted and beat physically, and your children are being walked all over and talked to any kind of way, and like, you don't deserve that. You know what I mean? But it has to start inside. Inside, you have to go, this is what I deserve. Yes, I could have had a child at 15, but I thought I deserved a family. And no boy from 15 to 18 is the same person, you know, in the future. So I was like, no, I'm not going to do that. You deserve to have someone who loves you. Even if you're a man or a woman, you deserve to have someone who's attracted to you. You know what I mean? So someone, you all deserve to be married to someone who actually likes you and wants to spend time with you, and you don't have to vie for their attention. You deserve these things. And so, you know, when you're looking back at your life, look at, you know, who you're married to, who you've partnered with, and you have to say to yourself, this is how I see myself.
Right.
You know, this
Right.
is how I see myself.
Right.
And I'm not ungrateful. I am so grateful for you.
Right.
But he's not doing any, like, I was Snapchatting him last week. He's doing everything with Sai, and I'm like, this is what I deserve. I deserve a man who loves his daughter, who kisses her and rubs her neck. I deserve it.
Right.
And so you deserve me.
I deserve you.
Because I'm so wonderful.
So this is our challenge to you, for those who are in a relationship or if you're not in one. First thing, I never did this. I didn't put a running tab on paper like Felicia did, but I had it etched in my brain. So for those of you, if you have to write it or if you have to think about it every day, do that, about what you believe you deserve, and truly walk in that, right? But also, the person that you believe you deserve, you need to be the person who you believe deserves that person, right? So do that. And then secondly, it's hard. Felicia and I had to do it. We've had a few conversations about it. Like, well, no, not a few, like numerous conversations about this. Not only the good, about what you think you deserve in terms of the good, but also what is it that my partner is either doing or not doing that is bringing me pain, that something in me is thinking, I deserve this, right? Rather it's someone who speaks to you disrespectfully, if it's someone who is absent, if it's someone who is so entitled that they don't appreciate you, whatever it is, think about those things too. I mean, really do some investigation and then work that out. You know, communicate that with the person that you love, so that all that does is that brings you closer.
Yes.
And it heightens you, man. It just makes everything in your relationship blissful. It brings more ecstasy between you two. So that's what we encourage you all to do. Did we hit it?
You did.
Ooh, I hit it. Ooh, I hit it.
He's been hitting it.
I'm been hitting
You've been
it.
knocking it out the box. Bow.